watching One Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's One Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about, so who should start for the Washington Commanders? Taylor Heinicke continuing to start, or should we reinsert Carson Wentz as our quarterback? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. We're so close to 5K. Hopefully we can get there soon. And also, don't forget to check out Top of the Morning show, sports show hosted by one guy that goes live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays morning. We just wrapped up the other episode this morning, so check that out and be there on Friday as we do yet another episode. So with all that out the way, let's get straight into today's video. So, as we know, Carson Wentz is available to come off of injury reserve, I believe, this week. He's able to at least start practice this week to see where he's at. And with Carson Wentz on the horizon of possibly coming back, that brings up the question that one may have is, will we reinsert Carson Wentz at quarterback? And they wasted no time asking Ron Rivera this question. I mean, the night that we beat Philadelphia on Monday Night Football, they asked him in his post-game presser and was like, so what is it going to be? Like, is Carson Wentz going to come back and start? And Ron was like, hey, we'll wait. I'll tell you guys that tomorrow, first of all. And then he was like, second of all, it's important that we don't get ahead of ourselves. I mean, he hasn't even been cleared to practice yet. So let's not get ahead of ourselves with the Carson Wentz talk. So then, following that, on the day after that, he had his, obviously his day after press conference after every game. And he basically said this. He said, I'll talk with Scott Turner, I'll talk with Ken Zampese, and we'll make a collective decision on who we want to start at quarterback. And then basically he was like, we'll go with the guy that has, the swagger, that has the, the locker room, that has the team rallying around him as far as the quarterback position, and as far as, camaraderie and whatnot, right? And everything he was basically saying was leaning towards, we want to go with Taylor Heinicke. We want to go with the guy that gives us the best chance to win. And also, he kind of was double talking in a way, because he didn't want to fully commit to say that he's going to go with one guy, because they did ask him a question, was like, yeah, is this the guy that you're going to go with for the rest of the season? And Ron was basically like, yeah, at first, but then he also kind of backed down on that answer, because he didn't want to put himself in a box, because he knew if he did that, and then let's say he goes with Taylor Heinicke and Taylor Heinicke isn't getting it done, and then he went back with Carson Wentz, he already knew the media was going to ask some questions. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't want to put himself in a box, so he kind of got out of that. But he basically, for the most part, basically said he's going to go with whatever guy give us the best chance to win. And it's no-brainer, bro. Like, you want my opinion? I just gave you a talk about basically the whole rundown and everything. But now that you want my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Okay, you have to go with Taylor Heinicke. He gives you the best chance to win. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, obviously, Carson Wentz is the more talented one when it comes to the arm aspect of things. But the ability to escape the pocket, and yeah, everyone wants to get credit to this offensive line. Yes, they've been playing much better. I'm not going to sit here and say they weren't. They haven't. But they want to give credit to the offensive line. But it's really also Taylor Heinicke's ability to extend plays with his legs to avoid sacks that Carson Wentz probably would take. Okay, I don't think we win that game in Philadelphia with Carson Wentz. I don't think we win that game versus the Green Bay Packers with Carson Wentz. We probably win the game versus the Colts. We probably win the game versus the Colts. And we definitely not going to win the game versus Minnesota, because those games, there was a lot of pressure into Heinicke's faces, and he was able to get out of that. Okay, not only are we talking his ability to play the ball game, okay, his ability to play, but who fits the scheme better? Who understands the playbook more? That's clearly Taylor Heinicke. Who has this team playing the hardest? Which quarterback has the team around him? You know what I'm saying? That love playing for him, that loves going out there with him, that just loves Taylor Heinicke for being him. That is clear as day that it's Taylor Heinicke. Okay? I'm not saying Washington was perfect with their Carson Wentz experiment. I'm not going to sit here and say we weren't. Okay, because we definitely had our part in Carson Wentz's failure in Washington. But also, he just doesn't possess the same athletic ability that he once did. His mental is fragile. Okay, so I don't even know if we want to put him back out there for that aspect. And then you have the next aspect of the reason why you probably don't want to put him back out there. One, because if you put him out there, you now owe the Colts second round pick. Because remember, if he plays 70% of this year's snaps, that third round pick now goes into a second round pick. So you got to be smart here, okay? Do you rather play him 70% and then lose a second round pick, or roll with Taylor Heinicke, the guy that has been killing it, 3-1 in his last 4 starts, and then keep that second round pick? You got to be smart. Or do you want to prove everyone wrong and say, oh yeah, we made the right decision by getting Carson Wentz because you got $30 million on the books that you're paying, $28 million, $30 million, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you gotta be smart in this decision making, and I know Ron. I know he's gonna make the right decision. I know he's gonna go with Taylor Heinicke. Like, there's no way he does. But with that same breath, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw a wrench in the plans and say, "Oh yeah, we're going with Carson Wentz." But it's hard to believe that he can go with or Carson Wentz. And Taylor Heinicke was on the Pat McAfee show. That's why you can't do nothing but love this guy. And he says this countless times again. This isn't the first time he said this, but he was on the Pat McAfee show, and they basically asked him about the whole situation, and he's like, if Carson Wentz is the starter, I'm going to do my best ability, to back him up and be there for Carson Wentz. I just like being in the building, man. I would do whatever it takes to win, whether that's me starting or me being back up. I just want to win games. You've been in the NFL locker room. He was talking to AJ Hawk and Pat McAfee. He said, you've been in the NFL locker room. It sucks losing. So whatever form, whatever position, whatever situation I'm put in to help this team succeed, I'm willing to do that. Basically is what Taylor Heinicke is saying. And he always says that. So that's nothing new. But that just shows you the kind of character this guy is, okay? He wants to play, but he knows to not take any moment for granted, because he always harks back to 2 years ago when he was taking college classes and he wasn't playing football and he didn't think he was going to play football ever again. That's why you got to go with this guy like this, okay? That's going to never play. That's never going to take any moment for granted. That's going to play like every play is his last. I think he gives us the best chance to win. Okay, yes, Taylor Heinicke's going to make a bonehead mistake. He's probably going to throw a pick in every single start. He just got to get it out of his system for whatever reason. But he's going to come back and make plays. Okay? He's going to come back and make plays. He's going to get Terry McLaurin chances. He's going to get our playmakers more involved. And this guy is the most comfortable out of all 3 of the quarterbacks we have in the system. I think you got to go with Taylor Heinicke. You got to finish the season out with him. Give him a chance to see what he can do. Remember last year, he kind of got it taken away from him because everyone got sick. Everyone got COVID, and there was a ton of injuries. And he really didn't have a fair chance to give us a chance to go into the playoffs. Remember last year, we had a chance to go into the playoffs. Even after the Cowboys lost, we still had a possible chance. All we had to do was beat Philadelphia and whatnot. But we couldn't do that because we had Garrett Gilbert the first time. I believe if we had Taylor Heinicke, we beat the Eagles last year, and that improves our playoff chances. Now I don't know if we technically still make it, but that at least it gave us a chance. Give him a chance this year to see if he can get us to the playoffs, whether it's the 7th seed or the 6th seed or even the 5 seed. Okay, everything we want is still in front of us, and we have to see that. We're sitting at 5-5. Okay, and You would like to think if Taylor Heinicke was in that Week 5 matchup, and I know you can't go back now, but I know you would like to think if Taylor Heinicke was in that Week 5 matchup versus the Tennessee Titans, he wins that game. Okay, and I think if Taylor Heinicke gets a chance to, and I understand he made a back-crushing pick 6 to Harrison Smith or whatever, or pick to Harrison Smith, I understand that, but I feel like if we get another chance and Taylor Heinicke gets the ball back and we don't have the John Ridgeway penalty, he goes down and either ties it or win the game. Okay, that's just the kind of player and gamer he is. So, to me, there's no brainer. You have to go with Taylor Heinicke. He's the guy that got the locker room. He's the guy that got these guys playing hard. He's the one that got these guys believing in it. And I personally think the Carson Wentz experiment is over. And I think this was his last chance really to be a starter. And I wish him the best of luck wherever he goes next year, but I just don't see it being here anymore. And Taylor Heinicke is going to be the guy for the rest of this year. At least that's what I think so, and I hope so. And that's what needs to happen. The person that gives us the best chance to possibly clinch a playoff berth is number 4, Taylor Heinicke. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, it's been boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Help to Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to check out my top of the morning show hosted by myself that goes live every morning, or Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays morning time. And also leave your comments down below. Who do you think should start, Taylor Heinicke or Carson Wentz? And give me your why for which one you believe in. As always, big boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace.
Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you pop, get you drop, slide on the one where they get you locked on. I ain't stopping till I get me